Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bow and Arrow Tarot, and this the Toxic Love reading for the Earth sign of Capricorn. Let's get right into it, Capricorn. Nine of Wands, Four of Wands, the 1111 card. Wow, Five of Wands, and the Hanged Man. Your person is coming in with the Chariot, Queen of Cups, Six of Cups, and the Two of Cups, a Lover's card. Knight of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. So Knight of Pentacles energy really just moving forward, right? Knight of Pentacles is all about keeping your eyes on a prize, continuing to move towards your objective. Let's get right into it, Capricorn. What is the energy that you and this person in this toxic connection coming in with? You have Nine of Wands, they have Chariot. So for you, Capricorn, you're kind of, you're in this space right now where you almost feel defeated, right? You feel like giving up. You feel like, do you have enough energy to make it through, right? There's been a lot of sort of things weighing on you, and I think they have a lot to do with this connection. Your person is coming in with Chariot energy. They have a plan. They're moving forward right now with their plans. They're laying their foundation. There's toxicity here due to some arguing, for sure. But let's get a little bit deeper before we go there. Yeah, for you, you're feeling pretty bruised and battered right now, kind of dejected. You feel like you don't have a lot of energy when it comes to this connection. And we're going to clarify why. And your person seems to be steadfastly, as I say, moving forward. Chariot is the tarot card for Cancer. So some of you may be dealing with a Cancer, or you may have Cancer energy in your chart. But let's clarify for you. Yeah, okay, so there's the Queen of Wands. A lot of strife over this connection here, right? There's been a lot of pain. I look ahead to the Five of Wands, and there's been a lot of arguing. There's been a lot of bickering. There's been a lot of back and forth. Your person, change, death, and Two of Pentacles. So they're moving on. This feels almost like it's a breakup. There's a huge change coming in. Yeah, right? As far as they're concerned, they're moving. There's a lot of moving parts to their life right now. They're changing up a lot. They may be changing their jobs. They're juggling a lot, and they have a path. And there's a death here, though. And I think that death has something to do with this relationship. I feel like their path doesn't include you anymore. You really feel you're sad. There's a feeling of sadness and just kind of being tired of working on this relationship, or rather tired of wanting something from this relationship and just not getting it. We're going to go on and see, how do you see each other, right? You have Four of Wands here and a Queen of Cups. For you, this was like a deep love connection, but I'm going to say that it's been a deep connection that's just been very painful, very elusive. It just never seems to come to a pass what you truly desire. It seems as though you're not getting what you truly desire out of it, as much as it is definitely, as far as you're concerned, a love of a lifetime connection here. Your person, when they see you, they see a Queen of Cups, so somebody who's extremely emotional. Capricorn, for some reason, to them, you're presenting as someone who's very emotional. It may be that a lot of what's going on here is really down to your nature. You may take things a lot harder. You may be a little bit more sensitive than this Capricorn is able to deal with. Let's get some clarity on that. Sun energy. It almost feels as though there is, they see you almost in a different light now, right? Something has happened here where, let me get another one for this one. There's been a lot of pain and sadness on their end as well, and they see you very much in a different light. King of Swords and a Wheel of Fortune. Feels to me like, there's the communication here has just been really, really off. Or rather, you've been severe and strict, right? There's been certain ways, Capricorn, that you've communicated with this person that just hasn't, I think you've hurt them, it hasn't worked out in the way that you expected it, right? It's almost as if you're feeling all of this sort of like pain because things aren't working out the way you expected them to work out or you want them to work out. You feel like you've been working on this relationship and giving a lot, but at the same time, it at the same time, your person is also in pain. They're also kind of like they're having a lot of anxiety right now, and I think a lot of it has to do with, the feeling that they don't want to hurt you. At the end of the day, I feel like your person has gotten over it, and there's been a lot of anxiety here, back and forth, arguing, back and forth. Something about the communication here in this relationship has become very, very toxic. And your person is kind of over it. They're ready to move on. They don't want to deal with it anymore. But because this is a deep connection and was a deep connection, and because there is love here too, there are feelings of love here, they have a lot of guilt about that. They have a lot of uh, anxiety and guilt about possibly hurting your feelings. You present as somebody who's extremely sensitive to them. So there's two things happening here. On the one hand, right, a lot of the communication has been like really, really hurtful. There's been a lot of fighting. Five of Wands, a lot of fighting, a lot of bickering, a lot of back and forth. You've been quite strict about certain things. You've been quite like, well, this is how it's going to be, and this is how I need for it to be, and it's like, okay, but by the same token, you're also extremely sensitive. It almost feels as though like listen, Capricorn, you come across here, your energy, and this could be vice versa, as if you have this way of operating where you can be quite strict with your lover or your person, but if they're strict with you, you're very, very sensitive and it's very difficult for you to take. So it's not a two-way street here. And I think for them, they're kind of like they're feeling that, they see that, but they're done with that. They have concerns about breaking up with you because they feel like this is going to be hard to do. But at the end of the day, they feel they need to do it. Yeah. Because truth be told, there's something has shifted here and you certainly feel it. You're here for a toxic love reading, so something has occurred and you feel it. I mean, death has come in for them in this relationship, and they're moving on with the Chariot. So this absolutely indicates that they have made a decision in their mind. Three of Swords, you feel betrayed and they feel free. Right? So this is what's happening. You have the Three of Swords, they have Fool. You feel betrayed. They feel free. They feel like, okay. And the betrayal is coming from you being very sensitive, as I said, right? I don't feel third party energy here. I don't actually feel like they betrayed you. But the simple fact that they are willing to change, that this relationship is changing, that their feelings for you may be changing, that fact in and of itself to you is a betrayal. You guys come in with a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing, a lot of, they feel Six of Cups energy is there. Listen, as far as the relationship is concerned here, right? For them, yes, there's been pleasure. There's been a lot of affection. The sexual energy here, it seems to be, very good, physicality, all of that. But that's about where it stops. I think your person has begun to just not go any deeper or fall any deeper in love with you. It almost feels as though it wasn't even like they fell out of love with you. They just never felt that deeply in love with you. I know it's difficult to hear, but you see them as a twin flame. You see them as a soulmate, a love of your life energy. But to be fair, for a long time you've been working. You feel like you've just been working on this relationship to make it into what you believe it should be, and yet you have this Five of Wands here. There's been so much bickering and back and forth. It may be that to you, Capricorn, that's normal. You know what I mean? It may be normal for you to bicker like this with someone, but this feels like a case of, you one person in love with the other person, but having a way of interacting with a lover or a partner that is very toxic. It's very cold. It's very dismissive. Sometimes it's very strict, very much trying to be in charge here. Oftentimes, maybe even saying things to hurt your lover's feelings, but yet at the same time being extremely sensitive. And so they're not there for it. They don't want this relationship with you anymore. And yes, they may indeed be looking at somebody else. You may be feeling this Three of Swords betrayal, because there is a Two of Cups here for your person. In as much as I do believe there is like a light flirtation that is coming in from somewhere else, because they've firmly shut the door to you here. They've shut this relationship down, even though you guys may still be in a process of actually like fully breaking up. Ace of Wands and Three of Pentacles. Yeah. You all of a sudden get a lot of inspiration coming in, Capricorn. It feels as though like, okay, Hanged Man, Ace of Wands. It feels as though like you're like, uh-oh, something comes in for you and really lights a fire up underneath your ass. I think it's the realization that this relationship may be over. Okay, and you begin to really get shook up. This has been a running theme for a lot of the toxic love readings this week. People just waking up to the fact that their actions have consequences. Your person is ready to move on with somebody else. They're ready to build with somebody else. They're ready to start something with somebody else. Somebody else comes in. And if they haven't already come in, they will be coming in. But it isn't even like they started a real relationship. It's just like the beginning of it. But they already want it. They already desire it. Because in their mind, I'm going to say to you, Capricorn, that this person has already kind of let go here. And you guys may indeed be still in the middle of technically sort of like breaking up, the last kind of like, okay, we're really, really done now, or let me come get my stuff, or, you know what I mean? Yeah, there's no more talking it through, you know what I mean? It's that kind of energy. They don't feel great about it. They have sadness over it, but they see the light. For them, the light is there. They see the light in terms of their own life, that they're ready to move on with another adventure, full energy with another person. And, they're busy. For some of you Capricorns, you're not even going to be able to catch up with them because they're juggling so many different things all of a sudden. It's almost as if once they decided to break up or to not be in this relationship, or that it was going to come to an end, it was almost as if their whole calendar got full. And now all of a sudden you can't even, you almost don't even have the time with them to break up. It's like it's happening so fast. They're moving so fast. That says something about, their desire for freedom here. The Twins, and Combustion. These are shadow oracle cards, so take them as they come to you, or how they make you feel. 11, Kabbalah number 2, the Twins. Here we have conjoined, a toxicity here though, right? A toxicity with that conjoining. Take that as it comes to you, however it relates. Combustion. Yeah, it almost feels like this in terms of when you start to realize that, things are changing. That Ace of Wands comes in, it's like fire comes in to wake you up. You've been in Hanged Man energy. You've been kind of like oblivious, not really paying attention, kind of just doing your own thing, wanting your own thing in this connection. But now you're fully waking up. And yeah, combustion comes in because I think you're waking up to the fact that this person, is leaving and wanting to start something else with someone else. Hey, and there's a healing process here. It feels like a healing process in as much your person is so, has made up their mind so quickly. This may be a rebound, but there's a lot of healing that needs to go on here, Capricorn, in terms of acknowledgement first and then realizing what's really happened here, right? It's going to be a lot of soul searching, invading, irresponsible, wow, and dependent. Damn. Invading. So you may feel, because this Three of Swords feels strong, Capricorn, you may feel that somebody is invading into your life, into your relationships, because this person is moving on with somebody. But this person, I don't even feel like you know them. It's like this person that, this new lover or connection that comes in for your person, it's like fleeting. And it really shouldn't, unfortunately, they've already decided that they're single. So it isn't even like this feels like third party here. It just feels like, they've left this connection with you so quickly and moved on. Irresponsible. Irresponsible. Hooking up with somebody in a very irresponsible way, knowing full well that the relationship is toxic. Dependent. Okay, somebody who's very, very dependent. Again, a lot of arguing here. There's been a lot of arguing, a lot of strife, a lot of back and forth. You're exhausted from this relationship yourself, Capricorn, but it's almost as if you've been trying to fit a ball into a square hole. You're exhausted and frustrated, and your person is exhausted and frustrated, but they're the ones who are making the move to say, no, I don't want this anymore. Clearly, this isn't working. I feel like, Capricorn, you would have been willing to carry on with them. I don't know that you saw or noticed or realized that, how bad the fact that this communication is so bad, that this interaction between the two of you is so bad that it's worthy of looking at to let go. I think perhaps the toxicity here is that you kind of you don't see, to a degree, didn't see anything wrong with the toxicity. You didn't see anything really wrong. This attitude of, well, all couples fight, all couples bicker, right? It feels like to me, that attitude. But the truth of the matter is, well, not all couples bicker as much as you do, and not all couples fight all the time, and like eventually you have to agree on something, and I think we all know that type of person that you meet who they've kind of accepted that, relationships are nothing but strife, and they're kind of happy with that. And your person is not. So this requires some soul searching on your part, and it definitely comes in for you, but it doesn't come in for you until they're gone, until you realize it's over. And again, this has been a running theme for my readings on the toxic love this week. A lot of you are on either end of a dynamic where one person is basically chasing the other person away. The other person is finally left. And it isn't until then that they realize, oh, I chased them away with my behavior and my treatment. Hey, maybe this is all my fault. And then requiring a lot of soul searching. All right, Capricorn, this is your love outlook, your toxic love outlook for this week. If it resonated with you, hey, this is a tough reading. Sound off in the comments and let the community know about it. Like, subscribe, and share. All of those things really help my channel. But I'm going to leave it at that, Capricorn. This is a tough read. And again, this is just a snapshot into the energies that are happening right now for some of you out there. Your life is your own, right? And it's down to the choices that you make. And you can always turn any situation around if you truly desire and really put that intention and effort in. But for right now, Capricorn and Capricorn Cross Watchers, thank you so much for joining me. I wish you love, life, and happiness. And I hope to see you guys at your next love or toxic love reading here on my channel. Bye-bye now.